Okay, we're live on Facebook.
Hey, my YouTube watchers. Hey, this is Linda D. Lowe on the Linda D. Lowe Show Girl Talk. And I just want to say hey to everybody out there that's joining me for another episode. It's been great thus far, and we are going to continue to have a good old time here in the studio, y'all. Today, we are about to, look, we about to turn up in this joint, okay? We about to act up.
Hey.
I have some ladies joining me today. I have Tish. Hey, Tish.
Hey, ladies and gents.
And I have Jordan.
Hello.
And I have Miss Danielle here joining me. All right, so I just want to start off with this. I'm sure y'all heard about the gorilla shooting at the zoo in Cincinnati, right? And so, of course, I knew the animal people was going to come out strong. Like, why did y'all kill that gorilla? Y'all could have stunned them and all. And so there's a lot of talk going on, okay, around the zoo killing this gorilla. And, you know, a lot of people are saying a lot of different things. And, you know,
Justice for the gorilla.
Right, just some stuff that I don't understand. But, you know, everybody is entitled to their own opinion. And they're attacking the mom, which I don't like. Because I know she has, I don't know how many other kids she has, but I know that she has other children as well. But they're attacking the mom, you know, talking about, well, why did she let the little boy out of her sight and all this other stuff. I'm like, you know what, it's easy to, when you have other children, you know, it's easy for another child, they're going to run off. You know, it has all happened to us where we had to go chase our child or something like that. So they're attacking the mom. But, and I'm just like, yo, y'all need to chill out. Y'all need to go do something. Okay? Like, come on now. But yeah, so I just want to tell those people to get a life. That's what I want to tell them. Okay? Get a life. Because here it is, this little toddler, okay, up against this 400-pound animal, okay, dragging him through the water. I was watching the video. I was like, yo, he could have drowned, you know, held him under or whatever. So I'm just thankful that the kid is okay. And honestly, yeah, whatever with the gorilla, you know, I'm thankful that the kid is okay because, yeah. So today's topic is get a life, and that's what I want those people to do. I want those people to get a life. Okay, so we're going to talk today about getting a life. A lot of times, oftentimes, as single people will live their life just to get married. And it's like they're always on the prowl to find somebody to date, to love them, okay? Somebody to have, to hold them, all that kind of stuff. And I just want to focus on getting a life. You know, what if you're not married? So, okay, what do you do? Do you just sit around waiting for a spouse to come? Do you just, you know...
Not if he never comes.
Right, exactly. Right. So what do you do as a single person? And we're going to talk about getting a life. So let's start with Tish. Tell me, what do you think? Like, how is... Okay, y'all, so I follow her on Facebook, okay? This girl is always posting stuff, okay? I'm like, yo, she is everywhere. All over the place, having a good time at this banquet, at that pool, at this spa. I'm like, okay, get it, girl. And so, yes, tell us about your life as a single woman.
Wow. So, I remember back in 2009, I had a breakup, and I was hurt, as we're always hurt when, you know, you have a breakup. And do you remember the movie Still I Got Her Groove? Stella's got a groove on.
Yeah. Her groove back.
Her groove back.
Yeah.
Got
So I
her
was like,
groove
you
back.
know what? It is October. My birthday's coming up. And I'm about to get my groove back. Where can I go? Where's the farthest I can go to get my groove back? I didn't have a passport at the time. And so I was like, Mom, I am going to Oahu and to Maui.
Okay.
She's like, with whom? What are you doing? What's the time difference? I'm like, Mal, it's 6-hour difference. When you're sleeping, I'm up. I'm going. And so she called me every day. But at the end of the day, I had to go. I had to get a life. Who cares? You know, bat the tears so that the mascara is not rolling, and keep it moving. I'm fabulously fierce in Christ. Colossians 2:10. I'm complete in Him. I do not need a man to live.
Snap.
So that's it. Went to Istanbul in 2012. I'm here thinking, where am I going for 2016? So just live on purpose. You know, at the end of the day, if you put all your hope in one, you can be hurt. All of our trust and hope should be in Christ, and so He completes me. He's the lover of my soul, and I live each day on purpose. I ride it hard until the wheels fall off. So
I know that's right. Ride that thing hard.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, it's because again, here you are. You're telling us about traveling and everything like that, and so many people want to travel.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they're like, I want to go places. So tell us, Jordan, in terms of what are some things that you enjoy doing as a single woman? What do you enjoy doing?
Okay, so I think in high school I started going to yoga, and I really enjoy yoga. Not a lot of people like to do this, but I go to a lot of theaters, like Shakespeare theaters, and I don't wait for anybody. Like a lot of my friends, they say, oh, well, I don't want to go through that, I don't want to go to that, I don't like Shakespeare, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, okay, well, sometimes I say, like, I wish I had a boyfriend, but then I'm like, no. Like, go. Like, I can, it's okay to go by yourself. Like, do whatever you want to do. Follow your curiosity and just enjoy.
Just do it.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's what I do.
I feel you, because sometimes we can definitely, we can get in that mindset of saying, oh, I wish I had a man.
Right. I don't want to go by myself.
I don't want to. And I used to be, I wish I had a man, but I hate going places by myself. Hate it. Okay, I still kind of hate it, but I'll go more places now than if I was a teen or a younger, early 20s. And so I grew up in a home with a lot of siblings. And so I'm next to the baby. I'm child number 6. And so there was always somebody around. And so I hated going places by myself. Like my younger brother, he would go to the movies by himself. And I'm like, you such a dork. How you going to go to the movies by yourself? Because I feel like I always need somebody to talk to distract me, something like that. And it wasn't literally, I think I went to the movies for the first time by myself 2 years ago. For the first time. Because I would never do anything by myself. And that's one thing I've noticed as, just as being a single woman is just get out there and enjoy life, because if you just sit around and wait, put it on pause, say I'm gonna wait for somebody, and not even just talking in terms of boyfriend girlfriend, but just talking in terms of living. If you say, well, I'm gonna wait for my girlfriend to go with me, or I'm gonna wait for this person to go with me, and they can't find the time to go, then
pass you by.
Yes, you'll get passed by. So Danielle, tell me, what are some things that you really enjoy doing as a single lady?
Well, I love cooking, and so a lot of people think it's strange to go to a restaurant and eat by yourself, but I actually love it. I take a book, I'm sitting there, I get to eat what I want, I don't have to wait for someone else to order something, my food comes faster, and
You can eat.
I can
You ain't
eat
gotta wait for nobody.
and I can just enjoy my meal and enjoy my me time. Also, I like to travel. When I do short trips, usually I have, even if it's just like, let's go for a drive, just getting in my car and driving by myself is the most wonderful thing. That just peaceful time. I can listen to what I want on the radio. I don't have to listen to what someone else wants. Just kind of simple things, day-to-day things, enjoying that time with myself. That's what I love to do.
Yeah, and I can definitely agree with you on that one in terms of just being able to enjoy each and every day, like y'all said. Like you said, Tish, living on purpose. Like you said, enjoying each and every day. Just getting out there doing stuff. And, you know, I noticed that when we don't have a life, and I say it in my book, I say, when we don't have a life, we get caught up, messed up, and knocked up. And it'll just take you to, because have you ever been bored and you go, what you doing with your phone? You're scrolling through your phone, right? And you're looking for that person, who can I call?
Right.
And you know, you start calling people, oh, what you doing? Then you get caught up. You're like, yo, I shouldn't even be here.
Yeah.
This guy, he, we weren't really talking, but we were getting to know each other. I'll just say that, because I mean, we weren't dating or anything like that. And I found out that he had, he said he didn't have a girlfriend, but he lived with his baby mama. And so I told him to erase my number from his phone. And so 3 months after we stopped talking, communicating, he called me. And I didn't recognize the number. And normally I will not pick up a number that I don't know. But for some reason on this, it was a Friday night, and you know, usually you're looking for something to do Friday night, Saturday night. And I had just said to myself, I said, man, I need to get out the house. I need something to do. And boom, this dude called. So I'm looking at the number like, this is a strange number. Who is this? So I answer, and he says, hey, what's up? And I'm like, I'm sorry, do I know you? And he was like, oh, you don't remember me? And then I caught his voice after he kept talking. And so the guy's going to say this. He's like, what are you doing? I'm like, I was doing absolutely nothing, okay? And I had just said, I want to get out the house. Doing nothing. And I'm like, oh, no, I'm just, I'm chilling. I'm doing nothing. He's like, well, let's go catch a movie. And I was like, what you want to see? He was like, let's go hang out at the bar. I was like, well, I don't drink. He was like, well, you can have some water. I was like, okay. And so then he was like, because he was, I think probably about 30 minutes away from where I was living, on business for his job, because he lived about an hour from where I lived. And so his job sent him up, gave him a hotel, all that stuff. He was like, and I got a hotel, so stay the night with me. And I was like, skirt. Hold on. Number one, I don't do booty calls. Number one, okay. And number two, I'll call you back. I'll call you back to let you know. Now, my thing is this. Had I been that chick that was desperate to say, I'm bored, I ain't got nothing else to do,
right. Sitting there waiting.
Exactly. And granted, I did say that, like literally minutes before he called, I was saying, man, I'm bored, I need something to do. But nah. I was like, nah, sorry. I ain't about that life.
Not worthy.
No, exactly. I'm like, so I made me a nice little virgin drink and sat down in my kitchen and pretend that I was in Aruba.
There you go.
It was like, dude, you ain't get, no. So what are some crazy stories that when you either know that you was about to get caught up or whatever? Tell us. Danielle looked like she got one.
This was actually with an ex. Semi-recently we broke up, and so of course he was texting afterwards after we broke up, and I was like, we really shouldn't be talking, like stop texting me, like we can't do this. And he would stop texting for a while, then it'd be quiet for a couple weeks, and then one text. Hey, how are you doing?
That sneaky text.
Yeah. And so I'm like, okay, do I want to answer this? And so I answered, and I was like, I'm doing okay, hope you're well. That's all I said. And then it's like, let's go for a walk, let's meet up. And it was really close to after we had broken up, maybe like 3-4 weeks. And so I was about to do that, but I was like, you know what, this will go further than I want it to go, and I don't want to go there. It's a road I don't want to go on. And so I was just like, you know what, no, we can't meet up. If you can't talk to me like over text, or you can't call me to talk to what you want to talk about, let's just not do this. If you can't say it on the phone, we're not going to meet in person for this.
And again, we can really sit around trying to find something to do And like I said before in my book, I'm like, yo, if you don't have a life, then you definitely, if you don't have a planned out path in terms of like, I'm not going to date any old body, because we have all been there. Come on, y'all, talk to me on Facebook. We have all been there where we have dated that scrub, that pigeon. I don't want no scrubs. And, you know, and so we Brian over there dancing. We have all been there where we have, you know, been like, you know what, maybe if I just go out and then stop it there. But then we end up in a situation, we end up either in the bed with them, regretting it, you know, long-term relationship, regretting it, and saying, man, how did I get here? Do y'all remember that song? I don't even know the girl's name. This was probably like maybe 7 years ago. Emotional Roller Coaster. Emotional roller coaster.
Yes.
And so, and it's like we're always on that roller coaster ride, and we're up and down. It's like I want to get off, but I can't get off. And finally, when you get off, you just like, yo, I never want to get on that ride again. Jordan looked like she got something to say.
No, like, I just remember mine was like a few months ago. So here's the background story. My ex-boyfriend and I, we broke up in October of 2015. So I said, God, you know, this is just being you time, like, no distractions, no boys. And so a few months went by, and then a guy came from my school, and he was like a little bit older than me. He was dark skin, nice smile, you know, nice body. And, you know, on Facebook, he would say, oh, yeah, I love God. And I was like, oh, hallelujah. Oh, hallelujah. This is mine. Oh, yes, God. Oh, I was obedient.
Look,
Thank you.
that always gets that spiritual girl who want that man.
Right.
Yes.
So sometimes they don't come in like a scrub, you know? Yeah. They don't come in the form of a scrub. So I'm like, oh, yeah.
They may come in the form of a pastor.
Right. Like the perfect guy. I'm like, oh, yeah. Oh, he just paid for dinner. Oh, wow. This is amazing. But then I noticed that his actions didn't line up with what he was saying. And then like a few months later, I realized I was like, you know what? This is not the one. Like, it's not matching up. We're not praying together. We're not reading the Bible together. Like, it's not, So the devil will distract you. It won't always come in the form of a scrub, like I said earlier.
Right.
So that's mine.
Right. Tish looks like.
Okay. I mean, so you said a couple months. You said.
Mine was like in February. Yeah.
So last week, I got a text.
We got a fresh story.
I got a text that said, you know, I'm going to come and visit you for Memorial Day weekend. I was like, I don't think so. So I decided to go out of town. I'm like, you know what? I will not be in town. Sorry about that, you know. And he's like, what about this coming weekend? I was like, man, this guy's not getting it. He's not getting that, you know, I think you're awesome. We've known each other for about 13 years. We started working together with the company that I work with. You know, he's in Canada. I'm like, you know, I'm glad your career is doing well, but we're just going to be friends. He was like, well, you know, my mom was Christian. I know my dad was Muslim. And I know that you love the Lord like my mom. So if you just show me the scriptures, you know, I'll convert. And I'm just like, it's not going to work. It's not going to work. And it's okay to say no, ladies. It's okay to say no. So I most recently ended a relationship at the end of August last year. And so God was like, Tish, you're too nice. You're taking human resources to dating. You cannot be an equal opportunity dater, okay? You need to shut them down. Shut them down. If you see that it's not working out, don't waste your time. Just shut it down. Like, we can be friends. You know, I can help you with whatever you need help with, whatever your strengths are. You can help me. But it's not going to work. Ladies, don't waste your time. Keep it moving. Put that time in yourself. Get a manicure. Get a pedi. Get a massage. Put it in you until God delivers him.
Yeah, and oftentimes we can become so, I guess, impatient. Thirsty, impatient, all those things, desperate. Because we're like, yo, we want somebody to hold at night. And it's crazy when I see people who are single, then they get married, and then... Y'all should see Tish's face. They get married, and then all of a sudden, like only maybe a year into the marriage, they're complaining about being married, and I'm looking at them like,
really?
now did you? And that comes from a misconception of what marriage is, basically. Because I'm like, okay, for any relationship, whether parent, child, friend, spouse, it takes work to work at it. And so some people will just go into the relationship thinking that, oh, you know, he should do everything for me or she should do everything for me, when that's not the case. And so they get into this marriage and they're miserable. And they're like, you know what, I want a divorce. And I'm like, after a year? A divorce after 1 year? Really?
After all that money.
Exactly. After all that money you spent on a wedding, on a gown, can I get my gift back?
I was speaking to my girlfriend last night for a couple hours, and I didn't speak to this particular friend in over a decade, since I was at Howard. And she shared with me that her husband, who she's married to now, his first marriage lasted 3 months. And I was like, what happened? She was like, you know, she was expecting his son and he wanted to do the right thing. And so, you know, he got married. But at the end of the day, if it's not going to work, it's not going to work. Don't force it to work. And so she even shared that when my friend was going to marry him, the lady came with tears like, you know, this guy, I've seen him blossom and this is the guy that I wanted to be with. Please don't do this to me. I'm just like, wow, like, if it's not working, don't force it. Just let it happen organically.
Yeah.
You know, so less than 6 months, that's scary.
Yeah, and it takes two to make the relationship work. Because if you have a person that doesn't want to work on that, you know, that marriage, then it's not going to work. And so when I look at these people who are living their single life basically to only get married, then they're basically setting themselves up. It's like you have to be able to live a productive single life, healthy, exactly, a happy single life. Now, I don't have anything against people who have the desire to be married. There's nothing wrong with that, but it can't become a desire where it just takes over your mind, your everything, where you're getting sick, where you become erotic about having this marriage that you need to have, and then you get it right. Yeah, it's an obsession of it. And so yeah, just being able to get a life. Get your life, because
guys like women that are confident. They like women that are busy. They like women that have a life and have things to do. You know, don't always be available. Don't always respond to that text message like after 3 seconds.
Right.
You know, have a life. Hey, why didn't you I was accomplishing some of my goals. I was checking off some of my things to do list. What were you doing today?
Right.
Tell me about your day.
Right.
So you should be an asset. You should be bringing something to the table, you know, and not just a liability, and taking and being that insecure, needy person where that person has to constantly deposit into you. You should become filled and bringing something to the table.
Right. And you know, oftentimes we can say, "Oh, I'm waiting on him to text me back," and you know, we're sitting by the phone. I'm the kind of person, I don't carry my phone on me in the house. I don't know how y'all do it, but I'll leave my phone. I'll carry my phone sometimes. It just really depends on how I feel. Usually on holidays, I'll leave my phone upstairs for like the whole weekend and be like, oh, let me check my messages later. And so, so I don't always have my phone on me. And so if somebody texts me, you know, I'll be like, okay, I'll get back to you. Sometimes I'll respond right away. Sometimes I won't. But like you were saying, Tish, in terms of if you know that you're interested in this dude and everything like that.
If it's flowing, then flow with it.
Right. Let it flow. But if it's not flowing, don't be desperate to don't force it. Don't be desperate to make it happen. So we got a comment on Facebook.
Facebook saying Nisi, I believe. Foster,
Hey Nisi.
Shaking my head. You can't get married for anything other than love. Baby and stuff can't be the reason.
That's so true.
Another one she says is yes, shut it down. keep it moving.
Keep it moving. Hashtag keep it moving, okay? Because again, if you don't keep it moving, you'll stay stuck. You'll crazy. Like, just crazy. Did y'all hear about that story about, I think it was a wife that set her husband on fire or something?
No.
Oh my gosh, I was like, it was not the first one, and I'm sure it won't be the last one, but just crazy stuff that goes on. And, you know, even when, I know a few months ago when the guy shot his child and his child's mother and all that other, just don't get caught up in that stuff. And to be able to stay free from getting caught up, get a life,
enjoy it,
travel, write a book, go to school,
yoga.
go to yoga, right? Okay, go to a restaurant, shopping, right? Something, do a spa day,
yes.
Do something. So I want to hear from y'all. Call me. My number is 888. Bright, BRITE 86. Again, the number is 888 Bright, BRITE 86. Tell me, what are some things as a single person? What are some things that you like to do? What are some things that you enjoy doing in your single life? So I want to hear from y'all.
Okay, well, no one's calling right now, but we do have more on Facebook. A gentleman actually chimed in and said, "Good for you." Going back a little bit earlier to the show. Good for you all. I hate being alone. I guess I am never alone with God, but I love people. So he enjoys going out. He tries to talk about, I think you said you didn't like going out alone. So he was kind of sharing that same sentiment. Another person said exactly, good boundaries. Have the boundaries. You do have to have a life and enjoy your life.
Right. So let's dive a little bit into those boundaries, because if we don't have those boundaries, again, we can get caught up, messed up, and knocked up. And we just looking like, oh my gosh, what happened? Yeah. So let's talk about those. What are some boundaries that you have, even in your life, while you have a life? What are some boundaries that you have? Let's start with Danielle.
Well, I know in dating relationships, my boundaries are very clear. You know, I don't do booty calls either. You know, I want to live a pure life. I believe in the Bible and the scriptures, so I want to live according to the way God has called me to live, and I'm very strict about that. And my last boyfriend, he knew that. Like, even certain jokes, or, you know, sometimes guys will make those jokes and say, like, oh, I'm just kidding. No, you're not kidding. You're serious. So I'm like, even those, we have to cut those out, because I want to keep this serious. And another boundary for me also is just be honest. Honesty is the most important thing. Even with my friends, if someone's not honest with me, then I can't trust you, you know? Trust is a good word, and without that, then there's no type of, you can't even build friendships without honesty. So those are my two big ones.
Okay. So Jordan, tell me, what are some boundaries that you have?
Okay. So the first one, no Netflix and chill.
No Netflix. Right.
You know, that's really popular. Everybody's saying, oh, you know, let's Netflix and chill, blah, blah, blah. No. That goes south, right? So no Netflix and chill. No late night phone conversations. That goes left. So like after 9:30, I'm going to bed. Or if I'm not going to bed, we're still not texting. Like that's it. And I think those are like my two major ones. Yeah.
So you guys took some of mine in terms of no booty calls. Not gonna happen. And in terms of the late night conversations, even though I do like, I'm a night owl, so I do stay up late. But if it goes left, then gotta go. You just messed it up, bruh. You just messed it up. Gotta go. But if you're not, I guess I may not be answering the question directly because you guys took some of mine. But in terms of flipping the question from boundaries, what are you bringing?
Right.
What are you depositing? My favorite question is, what was your bread for the day? Besides your meal, what was your spiritual word? How are you gonna feed me? What you got? And if you don't have a word, like after 2 or 3 times of me asking that, then you are really not spiritually growing.
Yeah.
And so there's nothing for us to really talk about.
Right.
You know, it's more than you being handsome. It's more than you just having a job. It's more than you coming from a good stock, a nice family. What are you bringing? Because you have to be my priest. And if you can't wash me with the word, present me before the altar spotless and without wrinkle or blemish, I don't need you.
Girl, you better.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I don't need you. Because if I'm doing my devotion. So my new friends texted me this morning at 5:32. He's like, I'm available for prayer. I'm like, there we go. We can pray. What are your requests? Here are mine. And so we spent about 51 minutes this morning in prayer and just
Did
talking.
you just say 51 minutes?
51 minutes in the 5 to 6 a.m. this morning. And so that's what I need. I need somebody that's hungry for the Lord. And so if you're not bringing it, toodles.
And you know, I found that sometimes that can be dangerous too. Sometimes, in terms of, you know, praying and getting the spiritual. No, together. I'm sorry, praying together. Yeah. And sometimes a guy can use that as a setup. Sometimes a girl can use that as a setup, you know.
Oh yeah, I want to lay hands.
Right, I want to lay hands on you. Well, can I
Yeah.
touch you here? And you know, and so they can use that as a way to kind of get in there, you know, especially if they see that you're all into God, you're all into spiritual things, you're into reading your word. They were like, okay, let's have this, you know, girl, let's go do this Bible study together, me and you. And you know, just that kind of stuff. So, you know, I'm definitely always aware. Not saying that, you know, you should not pray. That's not what I'm saying. You know, but I am saying, you know, it's so important that we be aware because there are people.
Check the fruit.
Exactly. There are people
Inspect.
who will definitely try to use those things that they know you like and try to weave their way up in there, slither their way up in there, and just, you be like, wait a minute, how did I get here? And so that's so important. We got a comment?
Yeah, so
Okay.
just some shout outs. Good job, ladies, first of all.
Hey,
Thanks.
thank you.
These ladies are on point. Natasha says, having a life doing things that produces growth and happiness in your life will help protect you from distractions and crazy situations in your life and opens you to better, more positive people, true to your point.
Yeah, better, positive people. Because let's just go back before we actually had a life. You know, because there used to be a time where, you know, my life did consist of, oh, well, let's see what guy will try to talk to me, or what guy will take me out, which guy can I use to get a meal, get a free movie, get a, you know, all that kind of stuff. And I ain't gonna lie, that's just where my head used to be. You know, that's where I was. And every chance I could get, I'd be like, okay, you gonna give something? Then I'll take it. No problem. So let's just talk about before you had a life. Where was your head at? Like, and look, they're thinking, knowing you ain't got to think too long.
Okay. So before, you know, I was stronger in Christ, it's definitely like, so when are you gonna call me? Is he finished work? I know he's finished work. What he's doing? He's at the gym. I come to the gym. Like, no, I don't have to invite myself to where he's at. I need to get a life and be doing my own thing. He needs to be wondering, what am I doing? Did I finish work? You know, what's on my agenda? Because he should be pursuing me, and I should not be on the prowl pursuing him. So, that was me.
Okay, so me.
Yeah.
Okay, so I guess like before I got stronger in Christ, like she said, my head was just in the clouds, and I realized that there was like a pattern, a brokenness, and I'm like, oh wow, like why does this keep happening to me? And that's because I was so focused on, you know, at first I used to like thug boys. Like, so I wanted to be a trap queen. So, I would just realize this pattern of brokenness, and I realized that I was putting my value in the relationship, and I kept losing myself. And I mean, yeah, that's my answer.
I think for me, it was, I was always questioning myself. There was a lack of confidence in myself and who I was, because I was like, you know what, like, why is this not working? Like, I'm interested in him, why is he not interested in me? Is there something wrong with me? And that's where my head was. I wasn't confident, and I didn't know who I was. And so I was trying to seek validation in the guys and in other people, as opposed to knowing who I am and whose I am, most importantly.
And I know, for me, I was more so of the, let me see who I can use. I was the player type person. Let me see who I can get this time and rotate. I remember I was at church, y'all, one day. And it was this guy who wanted to talk to me. And I was like, okay, you know. And there was another guy who wanted to talk to me. So I talked to the dude upstairs, then came downstairs, talked to the other boy. Okay, and this all happened in church. Okay. And so that was like my role. Who can I use? When can I use them? Every day of the week had to be booked up. When, you know, what can I get? That was me. What can I get? And I wasn't really about having boyfriends. I was just about having, okay, what you gonna do? I was the pimp.
Wow, you better get it.
Okay, so I was like, yeah. So that was me before the whole thing. That was my dating life, so to speak. That was my life in terms of what can I get from these guys. And sometimes, you know, I'm not gonna say all guys are just out there looking what they can get, but guys are out there looking in terms of what they can get. I know last week we was talking about that women today, they were saying that women today are more aggressive than guys, because you do have that culture of women that are out there to eat these dudes alive. And some of these dudes are getting eaten up. So, and so you have this culture of women that's like, okay, you know what? I'm not looking for a relationship. I'm not looking to settle down, but I am looking to play the field. And so if you want to get played, and listen, my thing was I was up front. I ain't lied to nobody.
Wow, girl.
I'm like, I just want to let you know, number one, we're not dating. We're not girlfriend, boyfriend. Okay. But we're not. And yes, I have other friends. Just thought I'll let you know that, you know, because again, my thing is honesty. I still stick to that honesty. You know, I don't care how honest it is. I still stick with that. Like, you know, so I would make it known, like, this is what I'm doing, just to let you know, and this is how you fit into my life. And so Brian over there looking like, we got a comment?
No, yeah, so the Riding Solo Holder, I guess that's the tag name.
Okay, what's up, Riding Solo?
First of all, he says, OMG, that is so right. We need to know our value in God first. Our confidence should be in the Lord, not man. And then he goes on, or he or she goes on to say, okay. Pimp Linda. But going on further, but if women feel that men are not stepping up and doing what they need to do, then they assume that aggressive role.
Yes. And that is so true. If women feel like these guys are not stepping up, then they're like, you know what, I'm just going to do it on my own. And guess what? I'm going to enjoy it while I'm doing it. And again, it's not to say that there's anything wrong with being a strong woman. Or, you know, doing things for yourself, especially when you realize that people will fail you, not just guys, but people in general. You know, we can't, like you were saying before, we can't just put all of our quote-unquote eggs in one basket and expect certain things, but we do have to hold up ourselves. We have to be able to do what we need to do for our lives. And so, do I have anybody out there who wants to chime in, tell me some things that you do as a single in terms of your life? What do you enjoy doing? Let me hear from you. My number is 888-BRIGHT, BRITE 86. Again, it's 888-BRIGHT 86. Or chime in on Facebook. Tell us, what are some things that you enjoy doing in your single life? Because again, singleness is not about living your life to get married. It's about enjoying your life, period. Period. Because again, I say this. I say, you know, if we as single people only live our lives to get married, then what do we do when we get married? What goals do we have?
Or when you don't.
Or when when you don't get married.
Like I have for me, I mean, some people say, Tish, you know, what's the big deal about your birthday? Why do you go all out? You go hard on your birthday. I'm like, you know, I don't have an anniversary. I don't have any children. Like, I am going to celebrate my birthday. I remember graduating from Howard in 2003, and one of my friends from back home in the Virgin Islands, he also passed away a couple months after graduation at 23. And that shook me because we went to high school together, we went to Howard together, I mean, we studied together, he went through his hazing process together, and he was looking forward to dental school, and he passed at 23. You know, and so I'm like, I gotta celebrate every day, every second, every year. I gotta celebrate my life. I mean, and I had another friend from CPC who passed away at 31. And then last year, if not the year before last, you know, we buried a young lady from RPC who passed away from her motorcycle. She was 37, 38. So you have to live your life on purpose every day because you don't know. James says your life is just a vapor that appears for a moment and then vanishes away. So we have to celebrate every day as a gift. Tomorrow is not promised. So to put it on pause, to put it on hold for a spouse, for someone else, you're cutting yourself short.
And one thing I like to make sure as a single person, you know, I always say that this is one of the best seasons in your life to really do those things that you always wanted to do, to travel, to go to school, to write a book, to, you know, just do so much, and definitely a time to get closer to God. I know when I had a few years ago, well, not a few years ago, a lot of years ago actually now, I think probably about 14 years maybe? No, 13 years. 13 years ago, I sat down, I was like, you know what, I'm not going to date anymore. I just want to focus on me and God. That was my thing. I was like, I'm not interested in men. No, I didn't turn gay. But I was like, I don't want to, I want to get my relationship right with God. And I want to get to know who am I as, you know, as a child of God. I no longer wanted to be a pimp. I hung up. But no, for real, I wanted to know what God wanted me to do with my life. And I wanted that to be extremely clear for me. I didn't want any distractions. I wanted to be extremely clear. And it was at a point in my life where I had just had my daughter. My daughter was 1 year old. I had took time off from school, and I started dating this guy. And I was like, I shouldn't even be in this relationship. And every day just being in this relationship was just like, torture. Yeah, it was torture. And so I sat down, I was like, God, I don't want a relationship right now with anybody else but you, because I need to get my life together. I need to get my life. And so, I mean, during that time, God opened up so many eyes, I can say. He gave me a vision that I would not have saw had I, you know, still been caught distracted. Up in, and trying to do my own thing. And so shortly after I prayed that to God, I was like, God, keep every guy away that only wants sex, all that kind of stuff. Shortly after I prayed that, I was standing at the bus stop, I think I was on my way to school. And a guy drives by, he stops his car, and then he backs up. And I'm just standing like, okay, I don't feel like it today. It's like 6 a.m, number one. Okay. And I'm like, okay, I don't feel like it today. So he backs up, you know, and I try to be nice, say hi, smile, all that good stuff. And he says to me, after he says hi, the second thing he said was, what are you doing this weekend? And I was like, red flag. Red flag. And I was like, what? I don't remember exactly how I answered, but I already knew right then that, okay, you know what? No. And so, so I was like, God, this is what I want. I want my life. I want my connection with you to be so clear that when those things come, like those red flags that I need to recognize,
shut it down.
right, and I can just shut it down right there, instead of saying to myself,
what
well,
happened
what happened was, or is that really a sign, or is that really a red flag, or knowing, so I wanted to be clear. I wanted to know who I was. And so during that time, God really started to reveal to me, and years, I have not been in a relationship for 13 years now. And I can say that I'm good, you know, because guys, they've tried to talk to me. I'm like, okay, you know, I'm not interested, you know, and I turned them down nicely. Just this one day, a guy, I was in the Marshalls, I think, out in Silver Spring, and a guy approached me. He was like, hey, and we was both walking towards the Marshalls. I didn't know he was going there, but we was just walking in the same direction. He say, hey, and he was speaking kind of low, and I'm like, huh? And I'm like, hey, how you doing? You know, he asked my name. I'm like, my name is Linda. I'm smiling. I'm being nice. You know, I mean, off the bat, I already knew that, you know, I wasn't interested in exchanging numbers. But of course, he asked me. He was like, you know, you want to exchange numbers? I was like, no, not at this time. And so we was both returning something. So we stood in line. I was like, let's just talk. He was like, you know, I want to get to know you, to be your friend. I was like, we can be friends right here in this line. We can talk right here. And we had a nice little good conversation in the line. I returned my items, and then I said, it was nice meeting you. Have a good day. And so I'm like, I know exactly what I want. I know exactly what I want. I know that, you know, hey, and I can just say from that first moment when I sat down and told God, say, God, okay, I'm trying to do this thing. I'm trying to live my life for you now, because I've lived my life for me, and you know, of how I thought it should be. So God, I'm trying to do this thing for you. So yeah, come on, chime in. Do we have any comments on Facebook in terms of telling us what you do in your single life? No comments, nothing. So with that, the show is winding down.
I know.
It is winding down. That time went really fast.
Oh, wow.
So this is what I want to do. I want to give you top 5 things for those who are listening. It's so important, again, that as a single person, that we have a life outside of dating. And that we enjoy our life and enjoy every moment. Yes, to the fullest, the purpose, all that good stuff. That we, you know, get it done. Go places, see things.
Enjoy.
Yeah. Because too many people sit around. I hear too many older people say, I wish I would have done this. I wish I had did that. Do it. Go out and do it now. And I just want to give the top 5 things to do as a single that we talked about here. I had the ladies chime in and give me these top 5 things, and I'm gonna have each of them explain kind of in a little bit of what it means. So number 1, it says adopt a mentality of wanting to thrive in your singleness instead of just wanting to be in a relationship. Singleness is not a waiting period. Oh, I like that. It's not a waiting period. Life doesn't start when a boyfriend or girlfriend comes into the picture. Give us some, okay? Listen. It is not a waiting period. Give us a little bit of insight on that.
Okay, so it's not a waiting period. I used to think that. Like when my ex-boyfriend and we broke up, I said, oh wow, like Lord, well it's me. I'm single. Like I can't have fun. Like why did you curse me? Like, oh my God. But I had to learn, like, this is not a waiting period. Like, I could go and have fun. I could go by myself. Like, everything that we stated earlier. So, yeah, like, I could be the guiding force in my life, and I can enjoy it. So that's why I say it's, like, it's not a waiting period.
It's not a waiting period.
Right.
I really like that, because some people think it is. It's not a waiting period. So that was number 1. I'll read it again for y'all, okay? The top 5 things to do as a single. Adopt a mentality of wanting to thrive in your singleness instead of just wanting to be in a relationship. Singleness is not a waiting period. Life doesn't start when a boyfriend or girlfriend comes into the picture. All right, number 2. Know your worth. Knowing your worth, without that, you will see yourself short or sell out.
Yeah.
Tell us about that one.
You have to know that you are absolutely priceless. There was nobody in this world that could purchase you. So God himself had to derobe, come down in a baby, and die the most gruesome death for us. Like, that's priceless. Nobody could have done that. We are worth far above rubies or diamonds. We're priceless. And once you know your worth, know whose you are, and just fall in love. There's a sermon series, I must throw it out there. It's on YouTube by Pastor Robert Torre. I keep it on rotation. Getting back to love. Getting back to love. Knowing who you are. Once you know who you are, there's no more insecurities. Nobody can come and bamboozle you. Nobody can come and trick you. You don't have to be knocked up or out, or what your 3 words were. You can't do that. You pray, God gave you that discernment. You see the snakes. You see the threats. You're like, nope, next, no. You just shut it down because you know your worth. And when it comes, then you can be like, okay, Lord, I see the fruit. I see it, because you know your worth. And then you even teach others how to treat you, how to handle you. You are precious. So don't sell out. Don't sell yourself short. And as Sarah Jake says, take yourself off of clearance. Know your worth. Put yourself behind the glass. Put yourself in the vault. You're that precious. You're that worthy. And just don't settle for less.
Right.
I love that.
Right.
Yes. Like, you know who my father is?
Right.
Oh, God. Don't got time for you.
So, number 3 is enjoy the friendship I have. Basically becoming my own best friend. So explain a little bit about that.
A lot of times we seek, as I was saying before, we seek so much in other relationships. We seek so much in other people. And a lot of times God has given us so much within ourselves. So we have to see what God has given us and enjoy being with ourselves. We have to enjoy who we are. We have to enjoy our personality and our quirks and learn to love yourself.
Yes. And so I want to add these 2. Make God your first priority, not just your matchmaker.
I like that.
And definitely get a life. Enjoy it. Travel. Write a book. Like I said, write a book. Go to school. Start a business. If you like to cook, get out there and cook. Do stuff that you so enjoy. Oh my gosh, because it will just bring so much more meaning to your life, so much more purpose to your life. I want to thank all of my ladies that's in studio today, joining me here on the Linda D. Lowe Show, Girl Talk, talking about getting in life and the things that you do in your single life. We heard from you all great stuff. You travel, you do things, you enjoy your life, you're happy. Yes. And I'm loving it.
And don't let anybody tell you how to be. I wear hats. Some people don't like it. That's your prerogative. If you don't like it, that's your business. But I like it, so I'm going to be me. Be true to yourself. Love yourself. Discover yourself. Know who you are. And don't have any training wheels. Ride it until the wheels fall off.
Boom. There it is. Okay? And so I want to say this to those who are listening who may be in that stage of waiting and they want to get married now and they just sit around, just concerned about, I just really want somebody. Take your focus off of wanting somebody and put it on you really enjoying your life and enjoying everything that you can do. Yes, you can do stuff in a marriage. You can travel, you can write a book, you can go to school, you can do all of that within a marriage. But don't miss out on what God has for you in your single life just because, again, Singleness, like Jordan said, is not a waiting period. It is a time to discover who you are so that when you get married, you can continue to be happy in who you are and not try to take on the identity of your spouse and live vicariously through them. Get your life now, enjoy it. Today's topic was based off of, again, my book called Dating Smart, 9 Tips to Transform Your Crazy Dating Life. And in here, like I said, I put it down. I say, when we're bored, when we don't have a life, we get caught up, messed up, and knocked up. So go out and get my book. You can get it on Amazon.com. Read it, enjoy it. I thank you so much for joining in with me today on Facebook, on YouTube, everywhere, on brightradio.org. Thank you so much for listening to my show. Please tell your friends, tell your family. Follow me on social media. Come visit me on my website. It's www.lindadlowe.com. And also, you can find all my social media links there. My Twitter, my Facebook, my YouTube, and everything like that. I want to thank you so much. Do we have any last comments from Facebook?
Applauses. Great show, ladies. Awesome points you raised.
All right.
Just a lot of thank you so much for the points.
All right. Thank you all for tuning in, for listening. Join me next week on the Linda D. Lowe Show Girl Talk. Yeah, we're talking about sex. Friends with benefits. We're talking about trouble, messed up, caught up, knocked up. Okay, so join me next week in the studio as we dive into this topic of friends with benefits. Thank you so much for joining me on the Linda D. Lowe Show Girl Talk. Hashtag Girl Talk, hashtag Dating Smart. So check me out, follow me. Let's continue this conversation online. I'll see you all next week.